Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Happy Monday. I am so excited to be back with you today and ready to kick off another Money Monday where we're talking about all of the financial things, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Alright guys, so for those of you who don't know who I am, let me introduce myself. My name is Corina. I am a wife and now a mom, and I work outside of the home. I come on here onto YouTube and share our family financial stuff. My husband and I have been working our way out of debt slowly and really working our way to financial freedom and to just a financial place where we can build a life that we love and live well on a smaller amount of money. So today's video, I want to share with you guys how our budget has changed now that I'm going back to work and since having our little man who is now 3 months old. Let's go ahead and just chat today. So guys, the things I want to share with you are really in no particular order. They're just things that have happened over the course of my maternity leave and kind of where we are going into this new season of being parents and having a baby in daycare and trying to steward our finances well. So the first big change that we have is now a daycare expense. So of course, along with our son's other expenses like diapers and formula, because we do formula and he gets breast milk as well, and clothes and all of that stuff. But daycare is the biggest new expense that we have. So our son's daycare is going to be a bit over $600 per month, and once I sit down with you guys and do our November budget, I'll give you like the exact number. But like I said, he's just starting. It's the middle of the month, so we're going to be paying like a prorated amount for this month. But he'll be in daycare 3 full days a week, and then my husband's home with him 1 day a week, and my grandma will be home with him the other day. So that makes up 5 days. And in our area, we were able to find a daycare that we love. This is one that's really has great prices and is pretty affordable. It was a little bit above what we wanted to pay, but I kind of lowballed our goal payment for daycare because I knew he would be in not quite full-time, like about half-time. So I was hoping to pay around $500. That didn't quite work out. It might in, you know, time to come. Or what have you, but we'll see about that when the time comes. So that's our biggest, newest expense, and that's the largest expense we have for him, like I said. So about $600 per month is going to go towards daycare, and that's something that, you know, we knew would be an expense that we'd have. So there's that one. The next thing is that my husband bought a new car. Now, new to us car, I should say. I've never purchased a new car. He's had one new car, and the reason that we needed a new car is because his first car is the same car that he's been driving the entire time I've known him, ever since he was, 18 is when he purchased it. So he's driven that car now for almost, actually a little bit over 10 years, and it is a great little car. But it's a little car. So like our son's car seat would barely fit in it, and it just wasn't right for like a family car. It just wouldn't work out well for a family car, and it had some kind of small issues that need to be taken care of. But because of its age, the value isn't there for us to put money into it to fix up all of those things, because we would have been paying, you know, more to get the things fixed necessarily than it was worth to actually just, you know, purchase the car. So the car itself, my husband's old car, we still have it. We're going to be selling it soon, but he did get a new family car, and it's great. It's actually older. The payment is really low, and the you know, total for it was about $10,000, but for the size of car that is, for the style, for the shape that it's in, it's really, really great. So we're super excited about it. We love it. I've actually been driving it around on maternity leave, and my husband's been driving my car to work. But the main reason that he wanted to get a new car, that we wanted him to get a new car, was because he'll be driving our son around on the daily basis. So he'll be taking him to daycare, he'll be picking him up from daycare, and it just made better sense for him to get a different car because he wasn't comfortable with me driving his car, and we weren't comfortable with the baby being in his car, his old car either. So that's an additional expense as well. Again, these are things that we really did look at our budget before, you know, moving forward with them. And it's one reason why we waited so long to start a family. We are we have been married for over 5 years now, and we just had our first baby. It's, you know, I think a lot of people, it's pretty normal for people to have a child, you know, within a year, maybe 2 years, but we really wanted to wait and make sure that we were in a good financial place before we started our family, because we wanted to be able to make these decisions about, you know, him going to daycare or me staying home, and, you know, the vehicles that we drive and where we live, and still be able to actually do things with our lives and enjoy life without having to be stressed out about our finances constantly. So that's the second largest thing. Along with that, our insurance has gone up a little bit. I think like $10 from where it was before. We were paying $130 before. We're paying about $145 now, so about $10–15 it went up. So not bad at all, but again, it's definitely worth it for our little guy to be safe and have a really nice car to ride in. So I think the other biggest change that is going to impact our finances is our sinking funds. So over the past couple of years, we've added a lot of sinking funds to our finances and to our budget. I believe this year we had about 12. And I think that's totally normal. I actually think we have a pretty good number because we cover a ton of different bases, and we're able to specifically purchase things with, you know, money from that specific sinking fund. If you don't know what a sinking fund is, it's basically a fund that where you put a certain amount of money away into, and it's for something very specific. So for instance, Christmas and the holidays are one thing that a lot of people will make a sinking fund for, because you know Christmas is coming up. You can usually get a rough budget of what you'd like to spend, and then basically at the beginning of the year you would just break up that number into the number of months that you want to put money away. So if you're going to save $500, you want to do that by October, or, you know, have your last month to be in October and you're starting in January, you put away $50 each month to get to $500 in 10 months. So that is what a sinking fund is. So for us, we've had a ton of different sinking funds, and we're going to pare down on those a little bit. I think we're going to have just kind of some general sinking funds. For instance, like car registration and maintenance is probably going to be in one sinking fund. We're going to have a house sinking fund, a fur baby, or a baby sinking fund, which will cover both Elias and Kiki, so our baby and our fur baby. And then we'll have our emergency fund, which we always have, and we'll have a gift fund, so that will encompass Christmas and things like that as well. So we're just kind of making them a little bit more general so that we don't have a ton of different funds that we're allocating money to, and we'll just see how that goes for the next couple of months. I'll be updating you guys on those as well, and just sharing with you kind of what our decision is as far as having you know, multiple smaller sinking funds or just having those larger overall categories as we go into the new year. So as far as our budget, that's what we have going on. We did have this past week some crazy expenses come up, which, you guys, my gosh. Do you ever like go into a time and you're like, okay, we're gonna do XYZ, and you set this financial goal and that financial goal, and you're like, yeah, we're totally gonna knock this out. This makes perfect sense. We can do this. And then like life just hits you. And Dave Ramsey calls that Murphy just attacking you, basically. So it's really, it kind of got us. And I'll say it wasn't really so much Murphy as it was things that we knew we needed to get taken care of. And this past week my husband was off work. So it was my last week before I ended maternity leave, and my husband was off work. So we were able to get a lot of things done, but that added up to a lot of expenses. So the things that we got done this week, we put new tires on my car because the tires were getting very old. The two front tires were completely like shot basically, and the back two tires had a month left of wear. So we wanted to get those replaced before I started back to work and before like the rainy season gets here and all of that. We also had to get a new battery because about 1.5 years ago my battery had died at work. My friend, my coworker at work had just recharged my battery, and it lasted until this long. But we went to start up the car the other day when we were going to go to the tire place, and the car wouldn't start, so we had to jump it. So my husband said, all right, you need a new battery. This is not good. So tires for $400, a battery for $135, and that was just one part of the week. We also needed to get a new front door, which we'd already paid for back in September was when I ordered it. But it arrived this week, and we had our friend come over to install it. He's a contractor, and we paid him $400 to install the door. So that was another $400. We also got window screens, which I did share with you guys in our last video. and that was $200. So as you can see, like, just really added up to a lot of like large expenses in this 1 week. So it's pretty overwhelming. Oh, and then none of my pants fit for work. So I had to go get a couple of pair of pants. And you know, so that was about 50 bucks. But it was just a crazy, crazy week. Lots and lots of expenses this past week. So when I say that I'm excited to go back to work, I am literally excited to go back to work, to just kind of have the expenses slow down and just really get back to a normal pace of living and our normal expenses and the budgeting that we do and all of that, and really like planning out these house projects and things that we want to get completed at our house, because there are still things we want to get done, but you know, they're more on the back burner. The things that we have done over the past couple of months were things that we needed to get done. Our front door was a mess, so that had to get changed out, and so I'm glad we did that. I'm glad we were able to do those things. I'm so thankful that we had the finances and the means to do all of those things, because honestly, if this was 2 years ago, none of that stuff would have gotten done. We would have been in dire straits. We would have been charging things on credit cards, and it would have been really ugly. So as much as it's kind of bittersweet to have to, you know, dish out all that money at one time, but it's such a relief to know that we're in such a spot that those things don't really affect us anymore. It's not really something that we stress over. It's just something that we say, okay, like just add it into the budget, and you know, we'll just make a note of it and go from there. So those are our budget updates for the rest of this month and kind of what's been going on with us lately. So I'm excited to share with you guys our budget for November, and to do a budget with me and just get back to that and get back to like the normal pace of things. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I would love to know what your biggest budget thing is. If it's a good thing, if it's a bad thing, if it's something that you're just like kind of about, or if it's something like what we've experienced with all of our additional expenses that we weren't necessarily expecting, but things that we were thankful to take care of and able to take care of because we have been on this financial journey. So let me know your budget win or fail down in a comment below. I would love to read those and just cheer you guys on or cheer you up, whichever way you need some encouragement. So thanks friends for watching. I'll talk to you very soon. Have a great day.